Good evening, everybody. We'll start our meeting 6:03 p.m. We'll just dive right into the agenda. Obviously, as you heard, Aaron wasn't able to join us tonight, so I'll just facilitate the meeting. Should be hopefully rather quick. Do we have any members of the public that have signed up to speak or any written statements?
None that I'm aware of.
All right, excellent. We just saved 5 minutes right there. All right, we're going to review the minutes from, what's this, May 16, 24. I wasn't able to make that meeting. I had a city council budget hearing. But if folks have been able to review those minutes, I'll take a motion to approve.
Make a motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Thank you, Sean. Seconded by Soto. Is this a roll call thing or do we just show of hands? Aaron?
I think you can just do show of hands.
Show of hands?
I do have a question though, before we vote.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, since I could make it to that meeting either. My question is, was it decided that it was worthwhile to pursue trying to get that variance since the code changed after the building was designed? I mean, obviously we have an alternative plan anyway, but would it be worthwhile to try and pursue the variance anyway?
This was a conversation that happened at that May meeting. Can anybody respond?
Chris, personally, I was not present at the meeting, but my understanding of the situation was that we had deemed it not worthwhile, correct? But maybe you can expound a little bit on the decision and the thought process behind it.
Yeah, so the discussion included the fact that the current capacity for the cafetorium gymnasium combined was just over 600 personnel. And instead of trying to get a variance to go up to 1,000, this discussion took place while we still have the appropriate showers and toilet facilities. To go for a variance for 1,000 didn't seem to be feasible or required. So, and variances are not necessarily guaranteed, but it was deemed to be that the current occupant load would be more than adequate for the Peck Middle School.
And then if we ever had more people, we could just open up the rest of the school for bathrooms, right?
That is correct.
So it wouldn't restrict us from having a big event if we needed to.
Correct.
All right, appreciate that clarification.
Any other discussions on the motion here? All right, show of hands in support of the minutes. Let me know when you're ready, Aaron.
Okay, looking, Anya, are you a thumbs up? Approve? Okay, thank you. Tim, are you a thumbs up? Approve?
I wasn't here, so I should abstain.
Okay.
Probably a good idea.
We have 8 people in support, no, 9 people in support because I see Jamie just came, and then Tim as an abstain.
I'll abstain too.
So 8 in support with the Josh and Tim as abstain, and Ksenia's taking notes.
Probably abstain as well, since I wasn't there either.
Count the 7, but
I don't think you have to abstain if you weren't there. I wasn't there either.
Yeah, I never understood that.
The minutes of the meeting are just like a reflection of what happened.
Well, I'll vote in favor then, since they look good to me. So.
Well, we're just accepting them as the official.
Mark. Aaron, let me know when you're ready.
okay, I think we're good. Ksenia's taking notes.
Anybody opposed? All right. Updates on construction administration progress and schedule. Chris and Petros.
Absolutely. Chris, do you want to start or do you want me to kick it off?
I can start. I'm going to
right.
share my screen if that's
Excellent.
okay. I do have some information to share. Let me know when everybody can see that.
See it?
Perfect.
Yeah.
So construction phase of the PEC project, we are continuing, the design team's continuing to process project submittals, providing responses to make sure that all the products are meeting or exceeding the design specifications and requirements. We are also answering RFIs, which are requests from for information from the contractor, looking for some clarifications and things of that nature as they go through the documents and perform the work. So that's ongoing. We're working with the contract to address any hot items each week. In kind of in the realm of keeping them moving at the pace they are. One of the things I heard some discussion about, how quickly they're moving. Typically, having the early site package work done and getting out of the way gives the contractor the ability to come in from day one, just start excavating for foundations, et cetera. So that's been really good for the project and the community. Our foundation work is nearing completion. They are currently working up near Crozier Field, preparing the foundations to enclose the gym cafetorium area, as well as the kitchen walls. They anticipate pouring the concrete floor slabs in probably about 2.5 weeks or so. Both the floor slabs and the elevated slab on the second floor deck. The plumbing and electrical contractors have been working to install all of their underground drainage, sanitary, and conduit in preparation for that floor slab pour. So a lot of that infrastructure is taking place. It's amazing the progression of work that's been going on. And then I'm not sure if people have been by there, but structural steel erection is ongoing. They are supposed to be complete by Monday when we place the last beam in the topping off ceremony. And I've got some photos to share with everybody that if you haven't been by the site. One of the things I want to bring up to the committee is what I'd like to do as possibly part of the next meeting is get the color presentation back on the table. One of the things contractors looking for are color selections in order to buy out their products and keep the progress moving at the pace it's going. So what I'd like to do is, have our interior designer come back in based on the color palette that was presented last time, start getting into a little bit of the nitty gritty, just to confirm that the palettes are in fact still, appropriate and accepted. At that point, we can, get all our tile selections over to the contractor. It's amazing the lead time on some of these products, and we want to make sure nothing's holding them up. We've asked them to adhere to a tight schedule. We want to do what we can to make sure they are moving along at that point. Any kind of questions on any of this? All right, hearing none. So Tuesday, while I was out at the site for our site meeting, under some nice skies, took some photos to give everybody an idea of the progress of work that's going on. Fontaine and their subcontractors are doing a great job. The site is being maintained in a very neat, orderly, and safe fashion for everybody that is either working there or visits there as part of the design team and other agencies, testing and whatnot. So this is the view as you would come in from the construction trailers and parking lot. Typically, this area right here is where we had our groundbreaking ceremony. And then we're going to move up in a clockwise fashion around to, this would be a view up near the McIntosh Terrace area. So you can see these are the retaining walls and foundation walls that are going to form the gym area. The excavator is in what will be the future gym. You get a sense of the deck that's now being placed on the second floor of the academic wing. And then the steel for the roof. And these columns that are projecting up are the steel columns that will carry the beams that will help carry the trusses for the large open spaces. I've moved over to the picture to kind of give you an idea of some of the work that's going on. The forms are being put in for the remaining of this would be the kitchen and boiler room area. You can see workers working down below what will be the future mechanical room. And they're bringing in, jittery finger. The utilities that will come up into the mechanical room, conduit and water service pipes that are sticking out with sprinkler pipes. And then this outer wall helps form the wall for the ramp that will come out on either side of the corridor for the gym and cafetorium. So that ramp will come out and give occupants direct access to the outside. You can see kind of the size of the footings that are taking place, the depth of the walls, where the grade's going to slope down. As we continue to move around, there, that gym wall, you can see the wall steps because there will be brick veneer that will help cover that, where the ramp comes up and then the railings above. This area is where the access drive kind of drives along. This will be the dingle area, which abuts the main, I believe it's Beach Street. There's the guardrail, and then it slopes down dramatically to the dingle area. So right now, Gagliarducci, who is a site contractor, has, for the most part, completed the installation of their drainage structures and drainage piping. A few weeks ago, this was torn up. There was a huge stockpile of loam and fill, and they were excavating pretty deep for all their utilities. So they've kind of returned this area back to normal. They're getting ready to do some of the prep grading. One of the things that Fontaine is looking to do later this summer in preparation for the winter is get all this graded, the base course down for paving so they have good access and a clean site to maintain throughout the winter. It also gives them a jump on preparations for the spring once the weather gets good to do their final paving. As we kind of circle back around clockwise, this would be that parking area that you see. There's a drainage structure down here that's kind of set in, but it gives you a sense on the north side of the building. These would be the science rooms on the first and second floor. The steel is up, the roof deck is on, the floor deck is on the second floor elevated area. And right now there is no work taking place underneath the steel for safety reasons. So it's kind of, you can see the yellow tape, it's all taped off. Once the structure has been completed, plumbed, and the detailing has been ongoing, they'll open this back up. They'll get back in there, finish any of the rough grading, any of the waterproofing, damp proofing, and get it prepared for the concrete slab pour. Like I said, second week maybe of July. Once they get the first floor done, they'll get the elevated slab done. And then it's off to the races to get the exterior walls and roof construction moving along. Lastly, this will give you a look from the southeast to the northwest. This will be your main entrance at the two-story location. So this would be the main drive area where the buses would pull up. Your parent drop-off will be off to the side on the other side of this lift. You can see how as of Tuesday, where they were finishing some of the steel in this location. Once this is done, they were moving off to the community area to start the steel near Crozier Field and, in fact, put the trusses in. One of the things you can see in the background over here is the truss delivery started Tuesday morning. So there's a very large tractor trailer truck waiting to be unloaded from Canada with all the trusses. They're about 4 feet or so deep. Progress is going very well, and I can tell you, my reports have indicated, as well as our engineers that have been out there, the workmanship has been very good as well. Fontaine's brought their A game. The staff with Fontaine and the subs have been good to work with, and really like managing the team approach between the design team, OPM, and construction team. Really going to be a nice project when it's done, and looking forward to the point where at some point, maybe this fall, we'll work it out where we can get a meeting close by and get a tour for the group and get in the building, see the progress of construction, see how things are fitting together, just get a sense of the scale and what's been going on over the last few months. Always nice to see. Any questions? No? Petros, anything to add?
No, Chris, I think that was absolutely excellent. The only thing that I'll add, just for kind of perspective, I remember when we first were trying to figure out the date of the topping off ceremony, Erin and Jenny Ostreicher, we were all kind of coordinating it. And this was months ago, just to put it into an idea time frame. We had originally figured July, end of July. So just kind of to understand how quickly things are moving out there, how on schedule, ahead of schedule we really are. We're almost a month at this point with Steel. There haven't been lead time concerns. They've been moving along well with a great team. So it's just been very nice to see the production. Every week we're out there Tuesdays for meetings, and it changes every week. And that's just, it's been nice to see. So.
Any questions or anything else to add or share on this? Excellent, excellent. Erin, take it away. Discuss the June 24 topping off ceremony.
We hope to see most of you at the ceremony. It's going to start at 3:30, but we're asking people to arrive at 3:15. And you would enter the same way you normally get into Peck from South Street. You turn onto Russell Terrace, and you can park anywhere along the gravel. And just remember to wear closed-toe shoes that can get dirty. We're going. Press has already been invited. We will do a rain delay to the next day if needed, but hopefully not. And then the people. Remarks, Mayor Garcia will start, then Mary Piketty, who's the executive director of the MSBA, Senator John Velas and Rep. Pat Duffy will both be able to be there. They'll pass it off to Tessa Murphy-Ramboletti, who's our city council president, and then Anthony will conclude, and he may decide to invite some students up. Then that's when the beam will be placed, and then if we need to, we'll do a group photo at that time, but we anticipate that there will probably have been pictures being taken. It's a little bit different for those who were at the groundbreaking ceremony. The big, we don't need to create this shoveling, digging in the dirt, because we have the background of so that'll be the focus point. So I'm hoping that we get out of there by 4:15. We have students and staff from Metcalf and STEM, who are the people who will be going to the new middle school building, have been invited. It's after school gets out. The last day of school is Friday, so we're not sure who will be able to come, but I've gotten some RSVPs, and even without including them, we have 40 people who have RSVP'd. That includes you. City council's been invited, school committee, past school building committee members who was on the first round of this back in 2018 and 19. We feel like they laid the groundwork for us, and although they're not on this team now, they really helped us get to this place. And so I think that pretty much sums up what we expect for that day. It should be high of 82 degrees, so hopefully not sweltering heat. Any questions, comments, suggestions? We'll have a press release as well.
Steve has one. Go ahead, Dave.
You're on 3:15 start time?
Well, if you could
3:15.
arrive, that would be great, because the mayor will be making remarks by 3:30. Any other questions? Great. There's been a lot of people involved in organizing it, especially on the consultant side and from the mayor's office. So we appreciate that and can't wait to be there with all of you. It's way more exciting than Zoom meetings. I think I'm next up to Mayor, if it's okay if I
Absolutely.
speak.
Go ahead.
The next piece was just giving you an update on the school committee's progress on naming a school. It's actually the city council who has final sign off on naming new school buildings. And so the joint committee of the city council and school committee met, and they accepted the recommended process that we had. We really need to make a decision on the naming of the school by early November, and then colors and mascot by around that same time, so that we can start to get, the names put up in the school, start to get signs made and such. the naming of the school is really, the city council sounds like they'll take a recommendation from the school committee who is going to be doing public outreach. The name of the mascot and the colors is school decision, but we're going to be collecting input on all of it at the same time so that people don't have to take like multiple surveys. So the first stage, which will be happening in August, will be to solicit possible names from people. There's certain criteria. The criteria is going to be from the city council is that it has to be a historical figure, place, event, or other instance of historical or cultural significance, or
Yep.
or a national and state historical leader or hero, past and present, or an individual living or deceased who has contributed outstanding civic service to the city. And then we'll solicit those names, and then the school committee, that's the Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion School Committee, will also invite some other people in, such as the superintendent, mayor, or representatives, possibly some staff or students, to then narrow it down to 3 to 5 names, and then we'll go back out for a survey with that. And we definitely want to hear from students and families who will be at the new middle school. So that will include our most targeted outreach will be for those students at currently at STEM and Metcalf Middle, and and also 4th and 5th grade at Donahue, Lawrence, and Morgan elementary schools, because those are the kids who will be, feeding into the new middle school. And then we'll have to request official approval from the city council, and then we anticipate revealing the name at an event of some sort. Any questions on that? Or things you want me to take back to the subcommittee of the school committee to keep in mind?
I have a quick question, Aaron. So you mentioned something about school color. How does that affect? Because we need to get some colors taken care of. So
yeah, thanks. I don't think it impacts like the colors of the paint or anything like that. When I say school color, I more think of how like Holyoke High is purple and Dean is more like black and gold, things like that. Not like, no orange walls or something if orange is the color chosen.
okay, thank you.
Thanks.
What were the colors, Aaron? I forget.
Sorry, what did you say, Josh?
What were the
Peck was green. Back in the day, they were the
like green and black?
Squires, so they were green and white, but I remember different leaders had changed that. So there was like Rising Phoenix was a different mascot, I want to say, in 2018, but Peck, like the history of Peck, they were always green. Jackie, correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think I remember that, Joe. Okay.
I know
Anything
you're a
else?
Lynch guy, but yeah.
Purple and white. I
And it
bled
could-
it through middle school and high school.
We could decide to keep it Peck or the same mascot and color too, or decide to change it. We'll share more information. You would all probably remember from about in the past year, about a year ago, like last summer, we were sharing information about who Peck was, and we can recirculate that because he was an important person in Holyoke's history and has an interesting background.
And the other, I think, thing that I heard too that might come up is when we knock down McHugh, is it? There was a commitment at that time to reuse that if and when another opportunity presented itself, but don't know who McHugh was. Pretty sure it was an important person. But just might come up.
Yeah. Thank you for talking about that, because I should make sure that there's links to learn more about these people.
Yeah.
When we do the survey. So thank you for that.
Josh, I sent to Yadelet the article about Ann McHugh.
Oh, did you?
She was the first female on the school board, the Desi School Board. She was also on the Hoyoke School Board. She was like a strong woman politician in the 70s in Holyoke. So the Ann McHugh School was named after her, and they did say that they would consider it. So there, I know there's a little contingent that is pushing for that.
Yep. Thank you, Aaron. Any other questions on this topic for Aaron? Aaron, I think you got the next set of
Right.
items as well.
This is also fast. In the chat and in an email today, I asked you to fill out a quick survey about your availability for a July school building committee meeting. So if you haven't taken that, and you can see it in the chat, I saw 3 people have taken it even during this meeting. That's great. Then we'll determine, right? Then we'll determine what the meeting is. So if we could, this is really the last thing to do, I think. So if everyone could just take a minute or two to do that, and then we'll decide right now on the meeting, because we need to try to get quorum.
What are those that you've collected so far? What's the
Yep. I have 7 people who are available for Thursday, July 25th. So that's the better one, but also 7 is not a quorum. But I'm getting more in. Great. I'm up to 9 for Thursday, July 25th, which is a lot more than July 18th. So let's plan on that. It'll be short again, I imagine, but just, we'll need you to be there, and then I'll update the calendar invite tonight. Oh, good. We're up to 10. This is exciting. It's like a polling night. Okay.
good
That's
job? Good job, buddy. Excellent. And is that all for review next steps, Aaron?
I don't have any others.
I think that concludes the meeting. This is possible topics for next meeting, items not anticipated. Okay, so is there any other business?
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Adjourn, seconded. Show your hands. Thank you, everybody.
Okay. Dave, you're the only one that I wasn't sure on. Do you agree?
Yeah, I agree. My computer, my camera's
perfect.
slow again. There we go.
No, I'm on my phone right now, so I had to scroll. I think Kathy, you agree too, right? Okay. And I just don't see Jamie, so we'll have her as an abstain, because I don't think she can raise her hand where she is on her phone right now. Okay, great. We're good to go.
All right,
Okay.
thank you.
All right.
everyone. Good
Thank
night.
you.
Thank
All right,
you.
team.
Bye-bye.
Hey.
See you on Monday.
Thank you.
Thank you.